Hey, good morning, students. Good morning, staff, and good morning to the best principal, Dr. DeArmas. Let me just say this to you. It is a privilege and an honor to be here. Let me take this off because this is starting to muffle the sound of my voice. But let me just say this to you. I am honored to be here this morning with each and every last one of you. Secondly, let me say this to the greatest superintendent of the world, Dr. Cavallo. Thank you very much for this opportunity to be allowed to come into the school I've graduated from, the one that taught me and gave me the strength, the intellect, ability to move forward in life, and the one that instilled in me that there was no peer and will not be a peer to this Buccaneer. But mostly, I want to say to the staff, to the cafeteria workers, to the custodians, to the security, to the bus drivers and to the bus aides, and to all of you who get up every single morning to ensure the safety of the children at this school. I just want to personally say on behalf of District 9 and the Miami-Dade County Commission, thank you very much for the sacrifices you continuously make in order for this to be the best school in all of America. I'll begin by saying this. Don't take this out of context, all right? I'm going to be absolutely straight to the point and get this over really quickly. I am the principal for today. So let's be absolutely clear what that means. I control everything today. So whatever I tell you all today, that's what's going to happen, all right? So we're going to have some fun. I get the opportunity to sit inside Dr. DeArmas' chair today. But rest assured, I cannot fulfill his shoes because they're too big to fill, but I will make every attempt to stand on top of his shoulders as he will propel me to actually to the next level to do and say the right things today. Lastly, before I get into my spiel, I want to say to every student out there who's watching this live video feed, especially those who attend this school, you have some great role models around you. You have great role models who have come before you, and you're going to be the role models of tomorrow. So I simply say to you, take this opportunity, cherish it, and understand that when we say there is no peer to a Buccaneer, that there is truly a meaning behind that, that the substance behind it can carry you further than you can ever imagine. So long as you understand that you can not only succeed to the point where your mind has directed you to, but you can also pull others along with you to ensure that the lineage of success is carried out in a way that's conducive to growth, love, strength, and the lasting is in line with our faith. All right? So, as principal of the day, the first thing I'm going to say to you is this. This summer, I didn't say tomorrow, I said this summer. If you are great at journalism, please contact me because I have at least 5 slots open in my office and I want to bring in Buccaneers. I want Buccaneers to be part of the team, to lead the effort, to make sure everything works out. Secondly, if you are great with social media, I want to highlight you in the community and let the world know how good you are. And I want the world to see that, you know, there's no peer to a Buccaneer, and that's why we bring in from within our own. And lastly, let me just say this also. When it comes down to pushing our people forward, students of South Dade, let's be absolutely clear. Whenever you need an internship and you need to be motivated and mentored, please stop by my office and know that you will always have a home, and we will make sure that you get the right mentorship to get you to the next level, because what good is it for me to make it and others around us to make it, and when we fail to reach back and help you. All right? So that's out of the way. As it relates to homework, I'm debating that right now, and I think depending on how things work out today, I'll probably, issue a moratorium. I'm not quite sure when or how it's going to come about, or whether or not it even has legal ramification or legal standing, but I may try to look at the moratorium. But we'll get back to that because, too much homework for you is not really good. But it's enough to, keep you home and keep your mind and your intellectual capacities growing. So that's the thing we'll look at. But let me just say this, man. I started off and I'll relax now. Without a question, COVID has caused all of us pain, heartache, setbacks, and most of all, it has caused a sense of isolation. The truth of the matter is, physically, COVID has shown us that being in an isolated situation can also be beneficial to all of us. And what do I mean by that? Because while COVID may have caused us to be isolated, it hasn't stopped our intellectual ability. It hasn't stopped our intellectual capacity. It hasn't stopped us from actually increasing our intelligence in order to move to the next level, in order to get this country to a higher level. So I say take this time, although it seems as if things are rough and it's not going your way, use this time to increase what you know and how you know it and why you know it and what you know. Because soon, and very soon I believe, we're going to turn on the television and this COVID thing is going to be a thing of the past. But I just want to make sure you're prepared post-COVID to move this nation forward. And I know you can do that. I know that the experiences that you're going through now can only do one thing, and that is simply move you forward and put you in a position to help all of us. You know, when I was at this school, and I brag about South Dade everywhere I go, I was on the wrestling team. And we started the wrestling championships here, and I was here in the 90s. I'm aging myself. And during that time, I learned some very valuable lessons from Coach Mike McCoy, Coach Balmaceda, Coach Wagger, Coach Willie Womble, and all who poured so much in us. They taught me 4 important principles that I take with me everywhere I go. And the first principle you learn when you're really in touch with yourself is that every table that is erected and/or set up has to stand upon something. And the table we're speaking of in this context is its growth. It is our democracy. It is our nation. It is everything that we know as human beings that we learn. The first pillar that I learned about while on the wrestling team here at South Dade is faith. The faith that you have, whether you believe in God, an onion, a dog, whatever it may be, so long as you have faith in something that will give you the energy to move forward, something that will help you continuously believe in yourself, that will be more than enough for you to get to that level, the level that you know deep down you belong in. And so being on the wrestling team, I learned early on that I must hold on to my faith. And so I'm asking each and every last one of you to hold on to your faith. And God knows, I know things get really tough sometimes because that's just the way it is. That is just life. And the second pillar I learned about that upholds this great country, this great democracy, our families, is our family. Understanding that your family, it's really all you have. When you see everybody who really want to make it, or who have made it, the one thing he or she has in common with others is the reality that they respect family. Now, most of us would say that family is simply with bloodline. But I've come to realize that your family could be your wrestling team. It can be your soccer team, your baseball team, your football team, your chess club. It can be anyone, your journalism team, your baking class team. Find that family that you fight for, because it's the family strength, the belief of moving your family to the next level that will always prevent you from finding yourself fatigued in this fight. Because the truth of the matter is, it is going to be a fight. The third thing I can tell you, the third pillar, that's very important to all of us. Although we may come from different parts of this land, different parts of the world, we are still here under one flag, and that is the United States of America's flag. And it is that flag, I believe, in my humble opinion, that brings all of us together. It connects us in ways, whether we believe it or not. It connects us in ways that no man or no one woman should be able to divide us from. It is the flag that gives us the cover, that gives us the energy, that reminds us that there were people who came before us who laid it all on the line and willing to risk it all. So understand that the fact that the flag is here, every day that we raise it, and every day that we pledge our allegiance, it is a reminder to each and every last one of us that we are interconnected by way of the flag. Whether we're black, white, Hispanic, or Asian, we're connected. Gay, straight, we're connected. Understand that, and you will understand so many other things. But I believe it's the final pillar that I think all of us really can honestly say we have a stake in. And that is our future. You know, at the time when Coach Balmaceda was actually teaching me the fireman's drill, or he was teaching me the takedown or single leg takedown, one of the things I learned early on is preparation is key to preserving a great future. If you're not willing to prepare, then you're risking the future. The future we seem to believe that is sometimes some 30 or 40 years away. It's really not. The future is really that next step, that next second, that next breath. That's the future. That's something you don't want to play with. That's something that you should be willing to lay it on the line for. Everything. You do not want to have any regrets when it comes down to your future. Your future is what so many of us are willing to lay our lives down for, because we have so much love for you and belief in you that no matter what comes your way, we're willing to stand at that door and keep it shut until you're ready to tell us that you're ready to come out of there. But again, when you think about the great democracy here, the great opportunities here, this great country, those are the four principles, the four pillars that brings it all together in full perspective. So let me conclude by saying this. There will be people along the way who will disappoint you, without a question. It's part of who we are. It's our makeup. And there will be people who will question your intellectual ability to even go forward. That's part of our makeup. That's who we are. It's part of the foundation. And there will be people along the way who will always challenge you, not because of your intellect, sometimes challenge you because of your gender, of who you love, or where you're from. But the one thing they can never challenge you on is how you choose to accept what they're saying. Because if I had to listen to so many naysayers, I wouldn't be sitting here. You know, reports will show you that I had one of the most dismal academic years as a student at South Dade Senior High. I believe I had below a 2.0 GPA. I believe I scored on the SATs about 580. And I think, Dr. DeArmas, they gave me, 300 points for just signing my name. I was suspended many times. I was in at the time, the special ed program. The EBD now, they call it, where we were pretty much in one classroom, assigned to one particular teacher who was responsible for keeping us out of trouble. And during those times, it was some of the roughest times of my life. At the time, I didn't quite understand. At the time, I did not quite understand why they poured so much into us, even though many people saw us as delinquents. But now I'm older. Now that I'm back here, and now I have 3 children of my own and a beautiful wife, I can tell you at the time, they were doing what I am doing and telling you to do now, is that they were protecting my future. They were protecting me from myself. They were protecting me in a way that really made sense after I completed my high school, my university studies, and eventually entered into politics. But it doesn't take away from the previous statement. There are going to be those who are going to challenge you out there. They will. They have to. It's part of the foundation. But again, it doesn't mean that you have to buy into what they say about you. I want you to just remember these individuals who came and sat in this chair, who built these schools, who washed the sidewalks, who fixed your lunch, who drove you to school. Those are the heroes that you must remember that you're going to fight for. And when times get rough and you feel like you're ready to throw in the towel, I want you to remember this. If not you, then who? You're the last hope for many of us. You're the last hope for your family. If you don't do this in a way and in a fashion that makes sense, then we're going to be missing that connector, that thread that binds all of us together. And that's what I call your ability to move a nation with your words, with your steps, with your actions, and with your enthusiasm. So with that said, remember Ann Sherrill Rowe, remember Marcus Hudson, Victoria Principal, Patrick Williams, Eric Brown, Willie Spencer, Coach Draycon, Coach Hudson. Remember the great teachers, Coach Isom, and the others out here, your principal, the staff, the executive staff, the assistant principals. Remember, they are all here for one thing. They are here to ensure that your future is secure. And they're going to do whatever it takes to make sure it is secure. And so now, as your principal for the day, here is what I believe I'm going to provide to each and every last one of you today. Whoever, I don't know, how can I put it? Whoever can tell me the year South Dade was established, I will issue by way of, can I say executive order? By way of principal order, that I'll give you an extra day out of school. How about that? And not only that, but I'm willing to also provide you with one of these kisses that's found within this jar. And in addition to that, you get to hang out with me for one day at the office over at the South Dade Government Center or downtown. But in all sincerity, thank you very much. I look forward to working with each and every last one of you. And just know at the end of the day, there is no peer to a buccaneer. And we hold that to be self-evident. All right? And to Dr. DeArmas, I love you, my brother. Thank you so much. You never cease to amaze me with the great work that you're doing for this community and for this school. And you will always have a friend on the county commission. And that goes for each and every last one of you out there also.